Welcome to Analyst Talk with Jason Elder. It's like coffee with an analyst, or it could be whiskey with an analyst reading a spreadsheet, linking crime events, identifying a series, and getting the latest scoop on association news and training. So please don't beat that analyst and join us as we define the law enforcement analysis profession one episode at a time.
How we doing, analyst? Jason Elder here with another LEA podcast deep dive. Open Secrets with Jan Mondale. Jan, how we doing?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
I am doing very well. How is the Pacific Northwest these days?
Yeah, Pacific Northwest is, well, near Seattle. It's very beautiful at this point in time, but we've also got some wildfires over on the Olympic Peninsula that are making it a little smoky.
All right.
And so, but other than that, how are things in Florida?
Well, we are less hot, which is a nice relief, because for about a month there, it was like 90 degrees with like 100% humidity, and it was awful. But now it's just like 86 degrees and slightly less humidity. But yeah, but it's not as bad, but it's still hot.
That's not good.
Yeah. So, but hey, it'll change in 6 months or whatever it is, and then not be as hot or cold or whatever it is. In Tallahassee, which is more Georgia weather than anything else, we actually get a little bit of the weather change, so it's not this constant temperature year round. So, all right. So this is Open Secrets, where we go over tips and tricks for OSINT, open source intelligence. And so what are we talking about today?
We're talking about organizing your data for investigations. And I was going over some of my notes from an old open source intelligence class that I took with the SANS Institute, SANS. That's how I say it. Other people probably have different pronunciations. Anyway, and that one of the parts of the presentation talked about organizing your information, your bookmarks, your notes, all kinds of things. And one of the ways that I've done, even before I took the SANS class, I was using an application. I'm not sure if you call it an application, start.me. So if you put start.me into a search browser, and it will open up a link to StartMe. It's a way of making your own personalized web page, and you can put whatever you want on that web page. A lot of OSINT practitioners use it. In fact, StartPage itself has a whole separate gallery that you can link to from its sign-in page, where you can look at what other OSINT practitioners have created as far as their own personal bookmarks, notes, tutorials, all kinds of things like that. You can keep your pages on StartMe private, or you can share them with a team. You don't have to pay. My little page that I kind of keep up with every now and then when I have time is free. I don't pay for it. You can pay for it and get a pro plan, and it'll allow you to do a lot more cute things with your page, collaborate with more people, all kinds of things. But there are ways to share the link to your page and not pay for it. So just by sharing the link. So in my show notes on, let's see here, about it's hard to tell, but because the URL that you're given when you create your own page doesn't have your name on it, unless I guess you could probably have it put your name on it. But for example, about the third page down on the show notes is a page called OSINT General Websites. That's my little handmade Start Me page. If you click on that link in the show notes, it'll take you to Janice Mondale's OSINT and General Websites page. I'll admit I created this several years ago. I don't know how up to date it is, but I was checking some of the cool things on it earlier today. One of the things that I liked that I've seen on other people's pages is I live in the state of Washington, so I like to know what's going on in the state of Washington. Because I worked in the Fusion Center, we would get like threat reports about dams or airport webcams and things like that. And I have a whole infrastructure information tab with just links to things like airport webcams, and Google Earth is right there. I don't have to, I can obviously just type in Google Earth, but it's right there in that infrastructure information box on my start page. But as you start off with start page, you do a smarter way to start. And help you set up your own page. It'll show you galleries of other people's websites just so you can see what other people have done. I just really like it. And a lot of OSINT practitioners like it too. In fact, the OSINT page gallery has 67 examples of other OSINT practitioners' start pages or start me pages. So the nice thing is that it allows you, that is, I think it's the second thing on the second link on the show notes is start me pages int/OSINT. And that's the gallery of the 67 other Google practitioners' web pages or start me pages. And then the third one is mine. The other ones that are start me ones are other ones that I really like. The one that's the OSINT resources, it's the one just past mine. So it would be the fifth one down. I should probably number these, or fourth one down. That is the OSINT start me page from the Sans class that I took, that I got the idea for even doing this part of this show based on that. And then that one, it looks like he's keeping it pretty up to date. Can't guarantee that he has, but the instructor for that class is really good. And he's got everything that you can imagine in there. And in a lot of people, when they make these, they have a little box explaining what, for example, this one says, read me. Most of these resources are free. Paid resources are indicated by a $sign. You should always practice appropriate OPSEC, but we've tried to label riskier resources with a bang, so an exclamation point. And they put a disclaimer. I should put a disclaimer on mine too. We are not liable for any negative consequences of using these resources, including but not limited to criminal prosecution, lawsuits, technical problems, or mental consequences of viewing offensive materials. So I should probably add that little disclaimer to mine. But not everyone has that. So anyway, I like the way this person has organized it. He organized it specifically for an OSINT class. So it has the kinds of information or the kind of resources that you would use if you were doing OSINT investigations. And then he also, the same guy, has a separate Start Me page, and that's the NICS Intel OSINT resource list. That would be right after OSINT 500 tools, NICS Intel OSINT resource list on the show notes. The OSINT 500 tools, just another really good resource. I really like the Sarah OSINT one, which is the next to the last link on the show notes. I really like hers because she organizes her tabs into sub tabs. So it's really interesting to look at hers.
Yeah.
She's kind of got a different kind of a background and everything. But if you look at some of her tabs, for example, under government, she has a tab link for court records, voter records, license plates, and vehicle identification. And I really like the extra effort she or they went into to organize their information even more thoroughly than I do in mine or anybody else that I've seen. So it's just a really good example. She's got some good sources in here, and it's a good example of organization.
Yeah. So this reminds me of a better way to keep your bookmarks. Right? Because you have, over time, you use a browser, you save certain links in a bookmark, and you might put them in different folders, and it might be in Windows Explorer where you can save all of them and keep them forever. And as you switch computers, you can navigate them that way. But this is definitely a way to organize all your links in a way more visual friendly way, I would say. That's how, for those that are just listening to this podcast and not seeing what we're looking at. And again, we will put all the links that we just mentioned in the show notes so you can go through yourself and see what we're referring to here. But it reminds me a little bit of Pinterest mixed in with your saving your bookmarks on your browser And for those that are old enough, even MySpace. So that's the vibe that I'm getting from this Start Me. So it's interesting, and there's so much information here to go through. This is a great tool.
The one that's 500 tools, OSINT plus 500 tools. It's right at the. I really like the way he's got his organized too. He's got a world clock right at one of his first tabs is a world clock, so I can see that now it's 13:52 my time, and in New York time, which I guess is what Florida's in, it's 16:52. It's just kind of easy to see that. But underneath that box, he's got a whole list of other Start Me pages so that he's just curated for you, other people's Start Me pages, which brings me to the last tab, or the last link on the show notes anyway, which is called, it's a GitHub link. I just want to put it out there because Start Me is great, but there are other ways. You mentioned Reddit. There's lists of OSINT resources on Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
You can create a spreadsheet and have all of your stuff organized in a spreadsheet just for your own use, and not worry about dealing with a web page and everything. You can have Microsoft Teams or something like that, some kind of shared space in your office workspace, whatever you use, Microsoft Teams or Google Office or whatever you use. You could have shared places there too. This is just one that I've liked for years, and I especially like it because other OSINT practitioners use it, and I can get really good ideas from them. But the last one on the show notes is a GitHub page. And the reason I really highly recommend that you check this out when you have a chance to look at the show notes is because he keeps this really up to date. It's a GitHub page, so other people can comment on it, but he goes in and make changes. The most recent change was today when I opened it earlier. And it's, if you aren't familiar with GitHub pages, they aren't like pretty graphics or anything, not like the Start Me pages. It's just a list, and under table of contents is a list of all of the different type of search tools that he would use for open source resources. And like I said, he keeps it really up to date. Like you'll see things on other people's Start Me pages that still refer to Twitter as Twitter. That's pretty out of date, right? I still call it Twitter, but
I think most people do.
Yeah, most people do. But I mean, that's just an example of how it might not be as up to date as something on this GitHub page. He really works hard, and he's got over 182 contributors that are always putting stuff in there. And if it's kind of like a Wikipedia page. People can put stuff in there, but if it's not right, people can take it out too. So,
so this is more like group collaboration over the Start Me.
Right.
I see.
I just like it because the Start Me, like I said, it can be a little bit out of date. Whereas if you really want something up to date that's curated pretty much on a daily basis, this GitHub page, Savoi, JIVOI/awesome OSINT, and it's a public GitHub page. I've never made any contributions to it because I'm too scared I'd mess it up. But I really like it. I especially like that it's so up to date.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you would have something to contribute in the OSINT realm. So I think that the nice thing about this, either the Start Me or even the GitHub, is that these are online, and so you can refer to them whether you're on your phone, on your personal computer, on your work computer, or if you're away from the office and just have access to a computer. So it's nice that you would have access to all this information and don't necessarily have to worry about it being on a computer that you may not have access to at the time.
Exactly.
I definitely do like the idea of collaboration, keeping things fresh and exchanging ideas. That is a really cool concept for the GitHub. And I think the Start Me has a lot of potential as well, just to keep your information organized and your tools organized. And as you start going through and developing your recipes as you're investigating different targets, persons, places, or things, that'll help the OSINT analyst, or any analyst for that matter, use open source and just to go through and develop their recipes as they search various websites that they have access to.
Right. In fact, under the Start Me gallery page, other types of analysts are catered to as well. AI tools and coding, there's a whole gallery for that. Business and productivity, there's a page gallery for that. Cybersecurity, personal link collections. So like, say you just really like to make lists of web pages or bookmarks. There's a gallery giving you ideas for how to do that. For example, one of the personal link pages is general cat sites for people who love cats, I guess. There's one for Iceland information. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be a criminal investigator or an investigator. It can be anybody who's interested in creating their own cool looking page of things that will help them either organize their information or create tutorials. There's 25 pages on the page gallery for students and teachers with all kinds of different ideas for creating pages for students or teachers. So it's just kind of cool. You might even potentially use it. Although, like I said, since names aren't necessarily part of it, except if you actually add it to your webpage name, like my name, Janice Mondale, until you go to my page, you can't see that. But you might be able to use it for people searches too. I mean, if you're looking to see, in fact, let me try a search just out of curiosity. I found me, but not necessarily my start page. Wait, maybe I didn't do it quite right. Didn't match any documents when I did it as a site search. When I did Start Me without it being a site search, it of course found my Medium articles and things like that. So I keep myself out there because I like to practice on myself, but yeah, it didn't find my Start Me page. It looks like it only found things on the web that have my name in them, Janice Mondale, spelled right. Because if you don't spell it right, it's going to find weird people. Anyway.
Yeah, now this has a lot of potential. I would say give yourself a good hour to browse around these links because there is a lot of information here, and before you know it, an hour is going to go by easily as you're just going through and browsing around these different sites.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's definitely a rabbit hole.
yes, but I think it has the potential to really have some great returns. So highly recommend exploring Start Me and GitHub. And again, we will put in the show notes on the website all the different links. The listeners, if you use Start Me or GitHub or used in a different way than the way we've described, send us a message, put in a comment below where we have the podcast posted, because we're just scratching the surface and what this could be used for in OSINT. I'm sure there's a huge valley of information for other uses for this. So let us know how you have used this information, or if there's even additional links that we should beef up our Start Me with.
Yes, I'd really appreciate hearing from everybody.
All right, Jan, we'll give you the last word. Some final thoughts on this topic?
Well, as you can tell, there's just a ton of stuff out there about OSINT. This is just, as Jason said, scratching the surface, what's out there. I mean, we've got other OSINT practitioners like Michael Basil and just a wealth of people out there. The OSINT Academy, Osmosis Academy, all of those people have similar tools to this, and just go out there and explore, see what else you can find. That's all I have.
All right. Well, very good. It's always great catching up with you. Until next time, Jan, thank you for the open secret, and you be safe.
Goodbye.
Thank you for making it to the end of another episode of Analyst Talk with Jason Elder. You can show your support by sharing this and other episodes found on our website at www.leapodcasts.com. If you have a topic you would like us to cover or have a suggestion for our next guest, please send us an email at leapodcasts@gmail.com. Till next time, analysts, keep talking.